Hello everyone and welcome. So this is going to be a tutorial on how to do the DMR glitch. I'm not only going to show you how to perform the DMR glitch, but I'm going to show you which weapons you can use for the DMR glitch. I will individually go over each weapon. So let's get started. To use the DMR glitch, it technically is just kind of something for fun. They've tried to adjust and change or get rid of the DMR glitch. It's something that's kind of embedded in the game now, and with the fact that no more updates are coming, it's going to stay. If you're going to use the DMR glitch in your game, so be it, however you like. If you're going to use it in raids, I would caution you to make sure that all your teammates are aware that you're going to be doing the glitch, because there's a lot of legit players out there that are not interested in the glitch. I particularly don't care, as long as everyone in the raid agrees. I like to use it in normal gameplay just to have some fun, to eliminate behemoths very quickly. You can run around with it. If your settings are low enough on keeping you from dying, you can run around, just kill everything, vehicles, people, whatever, with the DMR glitch. So to set up the DMR glitch, you're going to have to actually be in specifically the sharpshooter tactic, which is this one here. So to do so, you'll need to go to a bivouac, and you're going to need to change your tactics to sharpshooter. So if we go down to tactics, you can see I'm in the sharpshooter tactic. It does not work on any other tactic whatsoever. Now, once you have set up that you're in the sharpshooter tactic, it is going to take a little setup on your part in your loadout. Now, if you look at my loadout here, I'm going to go to my presets. That's this area right here above your perks. If you've never seen it or used it, that's what it's for. You can have different presets for different weapons. So this is how I set mine up. This is a normal gameplay DMR glitch tactic. So preset 2, I'm going to disregard looking at it. I'm just going to mention it for a second. Preset 2 is like my normal gameplay. So I'm not doing the glitch. I'm going to be running around with this if I'm playing sharpshooter. All the gear is set up for stealth and speed. I have the M4A1, I have my sniper rifle, pistol, so forth. Everything's all set up properly as a normal gameplay. If you look here, preset 1 and preset 3, or what's also considered default and preset 3, these are designed only for the glitch. And you'll notice, if you see this preset, with the exception of the weapon slot, they're the exact same, this one and this one. And for the reason for that is that's what the glitch is going to need. You're going to need to be able to fool it into believing that you can put your rifle into your pistol hand when you're carrying a body. And that's part of the setup we'll do shortly. So if you're going to create this one, you're going to make one that's actually complete with the DMR located in your second weapon slot. You're going to make another one with your DMR located in your first weapon slot, but all the items have to be the same, including on your wheel, your pistol, and so forth. You want to make sure that they are the same. And let's change that item there. All right. So I usually start with this one because your special ability, which if you look over here to the left side of the screen when we get out of the bivouac, it's going to be that blue rectangle. Now the blue, if it's not filled, that means you're going to have to go out and find enemies to kill to actually bring it up. So if you look next to the number 100 there, I have the blue bar and it's completely full, so I'm ready to do the glitch. The place I like to practice the glitch, if you've never done it before, even if you have done it before, a good place to practice it would be actually up here on Golem Island, and that is right here next to the chemical refinery. And this is the behemoth we're going to use it on, with the chemical refinery. Right out here in the front, there's a little guard shack. There's always 1, 2, or 3 guards that you can use it on, and you can simply set them right here and then shoot the behemoth from that distance. If you need to get your special ability up, which the way to do it with sharpshooter is headshots, and you can do sync shots if you want, otherwise you can just do with your rifle. There's a vehicle here, and there's always a vehicle here, or typically coming from the same direction. There's 2 vehicles. There's 10 people in both vehicles total, and you can get your special ability up very quickly, especially when you die and come back. They respawn for you. So all right, let's get started. So we're going to go through the different weapons that you can use your DMR glitch for. So what will and will not work. Right now I'm using the M4A1 Custom Scout. Now this is a purchasable item. You actually have to go into the store and you can purchase it from the store. It actually takes real money. If you don't have this item, you're not purchasing this item, there are certainly other DMRs that you can use. The best part about this one is it's because it's an M4, it runs at 950 rounds per minute, even though it's only 50 rounds, and that's the reason I like to use it. It's such a quick killer for using the DMR glitch. And if you notice here, I have one that has damage to drones and handling. It's also the exact same weapon in my setup for this one here. So this one's damage to drones and handling. This one's damage to drones and handling. It's the same exact weapon, and it has to be the same weapon, otherwise this does not work. But again, in this one it's going to be in the second loadout, and in this one it's going to be in the first loadout. There's a reason for that, and I'll show you that in just a moment. We want to make sure that I shoot over the shoulder. If you shoot when it's zoomed in on your scope, you're going to actually bounce around a little bit. That's what the recoil is going to do, and you may lose sight of what you're shooting at. It's a lot easier to control if you're using the over-the-shoulder sight. And I use the MAWL DA laser, MAWL-DA laser on my sight. The reason for that is because it's so bright during the day when you're using it. So that's this one here, the MAWL DA. You want to make sure that you're on burst fire. If you look there at the bottom of the screen, I can change it to burst fire. You want it on burst fire because it's going to do so much more damage. Single fire, you're going to be pulling your trigger over and over and over again, and sometimes it doesn't work. Now I'm going to run over here. Remember to take your pistol out, makes you run faster. That car is going to pass by. I don't need to get my special up there, so I don't have to shoot them, so I can just let them go. When I get over here, I'm going to want to take out the guy that's up here at the guard shack. He's going to be the person I'm going to need to carry, and that's actually part of the glitch. You will need to carry a body. It can be your teammate, and it can be someone you've shot. Now, he's alert. There are two guys here, so I'm going to take them both out. I only need one of them, but they both need to die. So there's number one. There's number two. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move them where I want them before I start my my glitch. Get them in place for the setup. If you notice, when you're initially carrying a body over your shoulder, you really only have your pistol in your hand. Your other weapon stays on your back. Once we start the process, it's actually going to put our assault rifle or our DMR in our hand, like as if it's a pistol. So I'm going to go ahead and drop him. I'm a little far out. I don't want the behemoth to notice me over here, so I'm going to make sure I'm out of its render distance. But I'm going to send my drone up so you can see it. You notice it's right here. He's just sitting here kind of chilling out, going around this area that he's got to monitor. I can see him moving there. Okay, that's exactly what I want. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the one that's in the weapon slot number 2. The reason for that is because once I start my glitch, I'm going to move to the one that's in the weapon slot 1, which will put it in my pistol hand. Alright, so body, weapon, 3-round burst, MAWL DA laser, over the shoulder. Start my glitch. This is my special ability. I start it. I'm going to pick up a body. You want to go into your loadout. I'm going to change just one time to the one in the first slot. And I'm going to back up and I'm going to show you how it went from 32 hit damage to now it's 232 hit damage. Now this is different in raids. It's going to say 500, but it's 232 hit damage there. So I'm back out completely to my character, and if you notice, I'm now holding it in my pistol hand. As long as I don't run with the body on my shoulders, he won't fall off, and my glitch will stay completely there. I will be able to use it. It'll stay flashing blue, and it won't go away until I get rid of the body. I'm going to walk a little bit closer to this guy. You can use an NPC, or you can actually use one of your teammates. Alright, everybody ready to watch his health bar? And he's done. It took about 7 shots, maybe less than that, I don't know. I did him so quickly that he just died instantly. But he's dead. That was the M4A1 Custom Scout. Okay, and here is the 416 Scout. Now, I mentioned earlier I was doing the DMR glitch. You can use this with the sniper rifles. A bunch of them do work. The unfortunate thing is they're only single fire, so when you're using single fire, it's not something that's going to work very well. Again, you're going to be firing one after the other round, depending on how quick or slow the return fire is, your rate of fire, and also the fact that some of the sniper rifles are only bolt action, so it's single, so you're going to be going in and out of one bullet at a time. So again, DMR glitch, stick with kind of the DMRs, especially with the burst fire. I'm only testing ones here with burst fire. M4A1 was the first one. This is, again, my second one. This is the 416 Scout to see if it actually works. So if you can see down the line, we have the Behemoth. He is respawned. I'm set up to go. Special abilities to the top. I'm going to start it. Pick up my body. I'm going to trade off to the weapon slots first. I'm going to check to see the damage. Damage output says 234. Okay. Get a little closer. Aim. And there you have it. About 6 or 7 shots, maybe 9. I didn't count them right up the hand, but that was pretty quick. And that does work. The 416 Scout. The only thing with this weapon is, if you notice, it doesn't have the 50 round magazine. It is only a 30 round magazine, and so I did actually go through 15 rounds. The difference between this one and the M4A1, the M4A1 had 50 rounds, and this one again is down to 30. But it did decently against the Behemoth. Okay, and here we have the 553 Scout. There is the Behemoth. Start my special. Pick up my body. Switch over to the first slot. Damage output's 234 per bullet. Gonna get a little closer. And here we go. Boom. Now this weapon is also only 30 round magazine, tops out instead of 50. I used 12 rounds there. It did knock him down pretty quick. So that does work. 553 Scout. Okay, here is the AK-74 Scout. Do my special. Pick up my body. Change to my first preset in the first slot. Damage output says 234. Alright, I went to the pistol, which means I'm going to need to click on this one again. And now it's in my pistol hand. Interestingly, it shows 2 on my back. Alright, I'm going to walk up here a little bit. Get a good aim. Ready, set. Boom. I think he was dead under 10. I used 12 because it's a 30 round magazine again with this weapon. Alright, here is the AUG or AUG Scout. I'm not a particular fan of this one. It's got a couple reasons why I don't really like using it in regular game or even using it for the DMR glitch. It's got a nice hit damage, 39, so it turns into 239 whenever you do the glitch. Good range and accuracy, so it seems like a decent weapon, to be honest. I think it's kind of ugly. I don't like using it. And then if we go to the weapon itself and look at it, It's got an automatically placed bipod on it. You can't actually take that off. It's not got the foregrip bipod combination, which you usually find on the other DMRs. And then lastly, it doesn't have the MAL DA laser. It has the ATPEEL 3. I'm not a big fan of the ATPEEL 3 because it's so dim as a laser. You really only can see it if when you're using your night vision, your IR. Daytime, it's very difficult to see, but it'll work for this purpose to check out how this one works. So here we go. Special abilities up. Pick up my body. Change to the preset of the first slot. 239 hit damage. Alright, now I put my pistol in my hand. I'm just going to simply have to go back to my preset and click it one more time. 239 hit damage still, and now it's in my pistol hand. Alright, wait till he stops. Get a little closer so I can get some direct shots on his center. Alright, here we go. Boom. Finished. About 9 rounds there. Kind of the same as the rest. Really doesn't really matter when you're doing the DMR glitch. Okay, here's the G28. Now, some exceptions to this weapon. It does only have 15 round magazine. It does not have a 30 or 50 round magazine capacity. The damage output is pretty strong though. I have to say this is one of my favorite DMRs to use in the game. It's super well rounded. It's really accurate. You can have the MAL DA laser on it. You can also have the bipod foregrip combination. So, alright, let's take a look. To 54 output damage on the hit marker. It is burst fire. There's my target. Now it did work. I ran through all the rounds. It took the 15 to knock it down. I'm not being super accurate here, but yeah, I would probably consider this one not a weapon I would want to use for the DMR glitch, specifically because of that 15 round magazine. That's going to be one of the biggest problems. It did take a little longer to fire the 3 rounds. It's not a super fast shooter, so it's more excuse my sound effects. So I would probably say a no on this one. The rest of them so far have been pretty good. Most of them are scouts. The G28 does not have a scout. It only comes as a G28 as is. Alright, here's the G36C scout. Hit damage is 229. Here we go. Alright. About the same as the majority of the rest. Alright, here is the M4A1 Scout. And 32 hit damage. Again, 32 hit damage. So no matter how I try to do this one, it's not going to work. This weapon is not for the DMR glitch. I'll also show you the hit damage when I shoot him. See his health bar? That's just normal shooting. Unfortunately, this is not a weapon that would work with the DMR glitch. Alright, here is the M110. There's a little different color on it, looks a little different from the rest. All the same settings and everything was the same on the rest of the weapons due to the fact that I'm just testing them. This one I actually use in regular gameplay, and I use it on my immersive characters. It's such a great all-around weapon. The only thing it has is a 15-round magazine. It doesn't have a higher capacity than that, so it's like the G28. But here is the testing of the M110 for the DMR glitch. .254 hit damage. And here we go. So not bad, just like the G28, it was the thump 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 firing versus the burst fire. A little slower, definitely some heavy hitting damage. I used almost my entire 15-round magazine, so unfortunately I would recommend probably not using the M110 if you're going to do the DMR glitch. Same as the G28, just because of the 15-round magazine. Alright, here is the Mark 14. The Mark 14 and the Mark 14 Assault, there's really not a huge difference. There's some subtle differences in just like the range and or the hit damage between the two weapons, but it's about the same as a DMR. They both have only a 15-round magazine, similar to the M110 and the G28. So, here we go. .249 hit damage. This one has a full auto, so I'm letting off the trigger. So I did use the entire magazine to take him down. Again, it's a full auto, it's not a burst like the rest of the weapons have been up until the G28 and the M110. Those are also 3-round bursts, but they're 15-round magazines. This is a 15-round magazine, and it's full auto. It is the only full auto DMR in the game. Whenever you get this as a boss drop, this is unfortunately one of the major DMRs that you get all the time as a boss drop. I guess they've labeled it one of the best DMRs, but in my opinion, it's not. It's not very good. So that was the M14, excuse me, the Mark 14 and the Mark 14 Assault. Alright, here is the Mark 17 Scout. In reality, this technically would be considered the Scar in real life. This weapon is one of the only other ones that has a 50-round magazine, like the M4A1 Custom Scout. The Mark 17 Scout also is a boss drop. You get what's called a Mark 17 Gargoyle. It's dropped on the Omega or Gargoyle boss once you defeat it. There's also another version of it called the MK or Mark 17 Shorty. A lot to do with the mobility, and it's a decent weapon. I enjoy the boss weapon, but just because this looks like the actual Scar in real life, I really enjoy playing with this weapon as a basic weapon in the game. Alright, here we go. 239 hit damage. Alright, well, he was kind of done with the first hit. I did do a second shot into him, but that was impressive. Alright, here is the SR3M Scout. I gotta be honest with you, this is probably one of the ugliest weapons I've seen. It reminds me of an old world Tommy gun or something that would have been used during World War II in the style. It also has a lot of issues with what you can attach to it. It doesn't have a laser at all as the PEQ-15. I just went with the iron sights because it doesn't even have the decent sights on it. The stock is ugly and horrible. It does have the bipod foregrip and a 30 round magazine, but like I said, to me this is just it's not really something I would ever play with, to be honest. Not just for the look. It doesn't look or feel like a decent weapon, but for this purpose I'm going to go ahead and try it out. Okay, it only has 34 hit damage, so it looks like it's going to be a weapon that's a no-go. I'll go ahead and try it again. 34 hit damage. Yep, it doesn't actually adjust. Still got the pistol. We'll go back to this. Nope. Alright, well, let me show you what 34 hit damage does when you don't have it set up. Looks like it's shooting tracer rounds. Yeah, this is it's definitely not a weapon I would recommend using. So far this is number 2 that doesn't actually work. The M4A1 Scout was the first one that didn't work. Alright everyone, this is going to be the last DMR tested for this tutorial. This is the TAVOR Scout, or TAVOR Scout, or TAVOR Scout, or however you want to pronounce it. It's an ugly weapon in my opinion. I don't really like it. You'll find if you do raids, it's one of the biggest drops you'll ever get. You'll get it all the time, the TAVOR and the TAVOR Scout. I'm not a fan of the weapon. It does some decent damage. It's fun to play with. Like I said, it's just ugly in my opinion. It's a bullpup. It's got the rear magazine behind the trigger. I'm not a fan of that. And like I said, it's just, in my opinion, it's not a great weapon, but it does have a 30 round magazine, and well, here we go. .229 hit damage. Alright, well, seems it was pretty decent as far as how I hit him. It took about 1.5 hits, 6 rounds, and he was done. So for the purposes of the glitch, I would say this is a great weapon to use. Now, the only thing I don't like about this weapon, physically or visually, besides how ugly it is, I'd have to say it does not have the bipod foregrip on it. I do want to go over how I set up these weapons. So every weapon I've used so far, I've actually gone through and made sure I've used the largest capacity magazine. So that's always going to be either the standard magazine or the extended magazine. Gives you 30 to 50 rounds. There's only 2 weapons that use 50 rounds. The rest of them are 30, and then 15 for the assault or the G28 M110. I use the compensator. It's the one that helps you with the vertical recoil shot spread. The MAL DA laser, it's one of my favorites. I use it on every weapon I ever use. It's so bright and clean looking. If it doesn't have the MAL DA laser, I typically don't like the weapon. The TA31H sight, just because for looks, it's okay. I don't really care that I put it on there, but I kept it on the same. Now this TAVOR Scout, unfortunately, it does not have the bipod foregrip combo, but it did have the bipod, which takes away a lot of your sway, your range, and your horizontal recoil. So time to aim, I really don't care, because again, we're trying out the DMR glitch. So, but that's how I set up pretty much every weapon. Also, if you'll notice, every single weapon also was maxed out as a Mark III level weapon. So I had that totally maxed out. And then if we go up here to the weapon mastery, I'm all gold on my DMR here to make sure that I have the most accurate and easiest to handle weapon. Alright, so that's the DMR glitch. Just to give a quick recap out of all the weapons that I tested today, we have to remind you that they were all the burst fire weapons or full auto weapon. The MK14, the Mark 14 particularly, is the only full auto weapon, but I didn't test anything that had single fire. I'm sure that there are several weapons out there that will still work with the DMR glitch on single fire, but it's kind of absurd to use the single fire because it's not really going to do the kind of damage that you want in the time frame that you want to do it, especially with a behemoth. If you're using it in raids, again, reminder that you want to make sure that everyone in the raid that you're working with is okay with you doing it, because again, you're going to need a body, and you're going to have to they're all going to have to be okay with you doing the glitches. So I would make sure that I do that first. The best two weapons I would have to say are the Mark 17 Scout, that's Scar, and then the M4A1 Custom Scout. Now, if you can't afford the Custom Scout, like I said, the MK17 Scout is just fine. Now, the TAVOR Scout seemed like the second best weapon out of the non-purchasable weapon besides the Mark 17 Scout. So the TAVOR Scout would probably be the next choice, but it is only a 30-round magazine. So again, if you need a longer use of the weapon for damage purposes or something that's attacking, you definitely want to go with the 50-round magazine, the Mark 17 Scout. So, alright, that'll wrap it up for this tutorial. I want to thank you for watching, and see you next time.